Hi, this is Magenta Pixie.
And Jessica Woods.
And we're going to have a conversation and we thought you might like to listen in. Hi Jess.
Hi Magenta. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? Well, we were discussing, last time we spoke, we were discussing our childhood and experiences we'd had as a child, and how we feel that there are so many people out there that have been through a similar path to us. And I was just wondering with you, I mean obviously we are really right now entering a pivotal time. Looking at 2012 as a year, have you had any messages or feelings or clairvoyant
well, actually,
about that year?
Yeah, the funny thing is, I don't know why, but I'm so drawn to like now.
Yes.
And one of the, and I say now because we're how many weeks on? 3 weeks on from the 11/11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 weeks.
Yeah, something like that.
Time,
yeah. I don't know. Maybe this is a good experience to share. But you mentioned earlier on in one of your when we were talking about becoming more aware of earth energies, and that you weren't always kind of that way inclined. I think
totally off the planet.
Yeah.
When I was a child and when I was younger.
Yeah. Completely like that. But I'm not quite sure when, but at some point during my life I became particularly aware of earth energies and you know, that kind of visionary. I can see, you know, the tsunami coming and where it is and things like that. So that's been probably more over the last 10 years, but an attunement to earth energies. And one of the things we're obviously past it now, but the 11/11 was extremely significant in so many ways. For me, it feels like the relief that we've all been waiting for. I'm not saying that everything is suddenly wonderful and great, because that's not life anyway. That's not what we're here for. That's not what it's about. But it certainly is very much that there was a feeling of complete and absolute relief that we've kind of got there.
Yeah.
Because bringing this up because you're saying about 2012, well, 2012 to me is already now.
Yes.
And there's been a lot of predictions, and I'm not one for watching and listening and reading about what's actually happening with the earth energies or the Mayan prophecies and things like that. I'm not that well versed on that sort of thing. As I say, I've, again, particularly for the last 18 months, been instructed from myself or the source self not to read books, not to watch too much or get involved in it. So I kind of don't have a lot of general knowledge, should we say, about that sort of thing. But I do feel that because I'm very aware of when the energy flows are coming, I can read it like I can with a person, and then it's like a map really. I just see that different aspects about it and can tune into that. And the 11/11 was very, very significant. I say it was almost like a release and a letting go. I was invited to quite a few different things, events, different, Glastonbury, different places, and was felt instructed to take myself on my own. I had to be on my own, and I went to Hengonsbury Head in England, UK, and went there on my own, and it was quite interesting. I had a lovely experience. As I was driving towards it, there was a car behind me. I noticed at some point, in fact I didn't even notice the vehicle, I noticed the energy that someone was behind me, and then I kind of clocked in my mirror that there was a car, and my first thought was, oh, that person's going to do exactly what I'm going to do here. So that was a really lovely connection. And anyway, then went all the way to quite a long drive, actually got there, pulled up in the car park. I went that way with my car, and then this person went the other way. Still no idea who it was, hadn't focused enough in the mirror to glance whether it was male, female, half a dozen people or whatever. And I pulled up there, and anyway, when I got out, went towards the meter, and this person obviously went to, and we just looked at each other and said, "You're here for the same reason, aren't you?" And had this lovely conversation, met this lovely lady. So again, this is kind of on the emphasis of what we were talking about before, people coming together, connecting, and being more aware of each other, because basically it was a lady and she acknowledged the same thing. She said, "I knew you were going there, and I knew you were doing the same thing." And as it then happened, I found out there were 3 groups of people, all in different places, incidentally enough, on Hengonsbury Head. There was a big group on the beach. There was one on the left-hand side, and there was one on the right-hand side. And I felt drawn to go somewhere in the middle of all of that, which was quite interesting, and sat there on my own and had a very wonderful and profound experience of really the connection, seeing everybody light up, you know, seeing all the lights going on, and all the awakening, again, what we were talking about earlier about people awakening, and it not necessarily being because they've had experiences from childhood, but more because they're awakening now. Now is the right time.
Absolutely.
So that was a really kind of profound experience, and I feel that to me was the beginning of what people are talking about 2012. And so I'm somebody who doesn't particularly focus on the future very much. I used to. I've got a very good Saggy Ascendant, which takes me
I'm
to see the
Saggy
whole...
Ascendant as well.
then that makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. For those who don't know, you know, that's a very interesting concept that we're the same. So we kind of see things in the bigger picture. And,
yes.
And want to be out there and expand it all and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But really, for me, I'm now living much more in the moment. You know, so yes, I'm aware of things that may happen and potentially are out there. But because we're living in the moment, we're creating that energy and that energy field and that one consciousness, that we're kind of creating it as we go. So I haven't done too much prophesizing, and maybe at some point I will tune into that, and maybe that would be a separate thing that perhaps we could do. We could actually give our predictions, unless you've got something, which I've got a feeling you might have.
I resonate with everything you said, and I think there is a little bit of a misconception about what I have put out there about 2012, because my videos, I mean, on YouTube I'm Magenta Pixie 2012, that year being significant, and many of my videos speak about 2012 and specifically the date, the 21st of December 2012. So I think a lot of people then instantly feel that nothing is happening now and we're all waiting for this big date, and on the 21st of December 2012 we're all going to shift into some different dimension, or we're all going to sort of see a load of UFOs, they're going to come down and pick us all up, and it's all going to happen on that day. And that's an interpretation that people make from the videos, because there's nothing in the videos ever to say that. The 9 do speak about the 21st of December 2012, but what they have taught me is exactly what you said. The 11-11-11 was this gateway that opened, that does definitely give a sort of a relief to all of us, because it's like, well, we're there, even though that now moment has been there even before that. The 11-11-11 opened up this moment for us to step into the 2012 energy, which was there before. It's actually been there for quite some time. But it's like we are in 2012, and I know what you mean. That energy is here now. And when you stay in that now moment, you are experiencing that energy that's available on the 21st of December 2012. It's available now. But how it is difficult to explain, and you know, I expect after the 21st of December 2012 I might have people saying, well, Magenta, you said this would happen and that would happen and blah blah blah, but the only way I can explain it, because obviously it is so difficult to perceive what's happening here, because it's the first time it's ever happened on this planet, and it's the first time it's happened in our conscious memory as humans on Earth. So it's difficult to explain as to how it is, but it's like a kind of, the 9 speak to me about we're in this kind of spiral. It's like a spiraling dimensional state that we're in. So beyond the physical look of the planet, we're in this spiraling spiral, really, going inward into this galactic core. And this does have a physical representation in our galaxy, and it can be looked at astrologically. There is an alignment that astrologers would be aware of. I'm not familiar with astrology enough to sort of say what that is. This is also explained scientifically. There are some theories about a galactic superwave. I don't know what that is, but those that follow science probably would. And there's sunspots and super flares and supernovas and all those things that I'm not enough. I've not studied enough to know what they are, but all of these things are significant. How I can explain it is the 21st of December 2012. This event is occurring, and it doesn't really matter too much what the event is, whether it is a super flare or whether it is a return to the core or whatever it is, because it's all happening inside our bodies, and that's the most important thing, because what we're here for is to ride through it, and through our embracing of it we create it. So it's very much simultaneous between what we're creating and what we're experiencing. Two sides of the same coin, in fact to the point where it's the same thing. And from the higher perspective, there's only one person here on Earth, and that human being is the Earth and is the galaxy. So it is a real simultaneous thing. But to explain it in the most physical sense, it's like the 21st of December is the inner point, like the 0 point. And the reverberations of that, if that's a word, is reverberations a word? I don't know what it is. It spins out back into all the other moments, like kind of this. It's always pulsating. So we're in it. So 11/11/11, before that it was kind of like here, and the gateway expanded it so that we could catch more of these reverberations. So that's why the galactic core energy and the superwave energy and the solar flare energy and all, whatever it is in us now, because it's beaming back at us. And there are things physically that can explain this, like there are particles, like a dust type particle beaming down. They're actually coming into our solar system. The planet is raising in its, I think, Schumann resonance. It's raising in its Schumann resonance, and all the planets. It's happening. It's like it's not really a heating up, although it can be perceived as heat. It's more expansion of light. And so the 21st of December is the core, but we're in a series of like rings as we move into this core, and all these rings have got the energy, so we can catch on to it. And because it's very much about the now moment, we can almost like catch on to it, go into the core. So we're coming in and out of the 21st of December 2012 energy all the time. That is why, if somebody were to ask me, is the 21st of December a significant date, or should we forget about that date and concentrate on now? The answer's both. It's both. Because and it's hard to get that across in my videos, because they are directly channeled, and the 9 will speak in the language that they know best, and sometimes that is open to interpretation. So I know that some people will be seeing 21st of December 2012 as a deadline. That's a bit worrying, because then it's like, well, you know, let's all hurry up and get there, and oh my goodness me, am I on time, and have I raised my vibration enough? So people are panicked, think that they're not ready
as well, isn't there, that some are going to get left behind and people aren't ready, and that just, to me, that concept just does not fit. It's not possible that anyone can ever be. We're all one.